Okay, so I was not planning to make a video on this, nor was I planning to make this my first video. This is the wrong tab, by the way. So just a little while ago, Tamashi Nations on Twitter decided to reveal their SH Godzilla. What is this? Godzilla SH Godzilla 2024 evolved version from Godzilla's Khan the New Empire. And quite honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I'll give you my opinion. But today I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. And that, well, we're going to be kind of comparing, well, not really comparing the figures, but more or less the marketing between SH Monsters and HIYA over here. Because HIYA revealed this a while back, this figure. And this is the figure I have been looking forward to for a little while. This is the HIYA Toys exclusive base 6 series Godzilla 7-inch scale from Godzilla X Kong, the evolved version. This is 7 inches tall. And this over here is 6 inches. Probably. We are not given specific details on it. As you see over here, more info is coming soon. So I'm not gonna drag on it too much. And I will say, start off positive. The figure looks great. Don't get me wrong. This looks absolutely amazing. Here's another image of it. Of course, this is suspected to be a prototype, so the actual figure will probably look better, which is a good thing. But quite honestly, I also want to voice my opinion on it. Also, hey, look, they also revealed Scar King. That's cool. I'm probably not going to get him. But I bet some collectors will be excited about that. So, where do I start off comparing these things? I'm going to say, given the images that we are given, SH Monsters is killing it with the marketing, better than HIYA over here. Because as we can see with HIYA, their marketing is great, don't get me wrong. They show off the best parts of this figure. Only one problem, and I've kind of noticed this even before the SH Monsters came out. It's only really in one pose. Just in the neutral pose. There's a bit of a running pose, back to semi-neutral pose. A little bit of running pose, and back to neutral pose. Kind of a fighting pose there. But it's never really in different poses. As with the SH Monster Arts, you can see that's a lot more of a neutral pose. That's straight up in it, recreated from the movie. Let's be frank. I'm not gonna review the movie this time. Maybe in the future. There's a much better shot of the running pose there. And there's a back shot there. We did not get that with the HIYA at all. And there are other images. I'm not gonna show them here because I don't have time. This took me a while to find these images. That's okay. So immediately, this figure and its marketing are doing a lot better. I feel like, well, not better than this, but art is just done better. Once again, this is in one neutral pose. And I posted this to one of the discords I'm in. This image and this image. Saying which one looks better. A lot of people said the HIYA looks better over the SH Monster Arts. And these are just kind of like people who don't really collect Godzilla figures, I don't think. And I can see where they're coming from. Looking at both of them, you can definitely see that the HIYA has just more color in general. There's just a lot more color to be seen here. And quite honestly, I think it looks all the better for it. You can definitely see with this, they have a lot more precise painting, and that's a common thing with SH Monsters. They always got a pretty precise painting. Not much in variety of color, at least compared to the HIYA. Once again, I should reiterate that both of these are prototypes. I know that the HIYA is. It's speculated this is one. I'm pretty sure it is. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Where to go from here? Uh, Oh yeah, another thing that another person pointed out on the poll I did. Um, the SH Monsters images just look higher quality. Like, not that they're in like a better environment. I feel like they were a lot more creative with the environment. Haya was a lot more creative with the environment. That's just sort of the whole worth there. Even though you can see the sky, just ignore that. They were a lot more creative with their environment and how they wanted to show off their figure. This guy is just in a void. I don't know where he is. The centerpiece is definitely the figure. They want to draw all your attention to the figure. And yeah, the camera quality does definitely seem like it's better with the SH Monster Arts. Although I could be crazy. Now I'm going to voice my opinion on it. I'm going to tell you, I have not collected a single Hiya Toys figure, and I have been wanting for a while. I just wasn't really sold on their Godzilla design, their previous Godzilla design, before the Evolved Godzilla came out, or was revealed. I wasn't sold on it, even though it did look more movie accurate and there was a lot more colors to it. I had no reason to replace my SH Monsters Godzilla 2019 figure, base color, because in my opinion, that is a better looking figure than all of the other repaints and stuff like that. I had no reason to replace him, and plus, the other figure was priced fairly. I think when it came out, it was like $60 or $70 instead of what SH Monsters is putting out now, which I'll also get into that. So I also had no reason to replace that guy. And before, I was saying that SH Monsters was getting a little lazy. I'm not gonna lie, with some of their figures. They were getting a little lazy. Quality control wasn't the biggest of priorities. And I haven't collected much of them. I did collect the 2004 figure, just because I love that movie so much. I did collect the figure, and I do not regret my purchase at all. It was a little overpriced, $90 for it for a figure with no accessories. I feel like it could have gone for $30 less. $60 would have been much more agreeable. And don't get me wrong, Hiya Toys is good, but then again, it's still $50. Even though that is pretty cheap, it's still a little expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It's still a pretty penny there. We don't know the actual cost of this guy. Some people say it's around like $90. I'd assume it's around $95. And for a smaller figure, like we also don't know we also don't know the size of it. As you see, there's more info coming soon because we're just not given any info at all. We're given like no info at all, and so we're just kind of going off of speculation. So this is all due to change probably. So do not quote me on this. But I do suspect that this may be a 6-inch figure, even though they haven't revealed the actual specs. And I have said to myself, if it is 7 inches tall, like I want the Hiya figure to be, we know for a fact that the Hiya figure is 7 inches. I mean, it says right there. SH Monsters usually does 6 to not 7 inches, 5 to 6 inches, while Hiya Toys usually does 6 to 7. So sometimes they're gone 8. And I honestly just kind of want an excuse to start buying more Hiya products. Like some of their figures, I would love to get hands on a Kong, specifically the Godzilla vs. Kong figure. I'd love to get my hands on the 2019 Mothra version. I'd love to get my hands on Ghidorah, all that stuff. But only one problem: they are all scaled for the 7-inch scale. Don't really scale well with SH Monsters, which I have been collecting for a little while now, and I have had for a little while now. So I would like the figures to fit in. As for this figure, I've said to myself, if it is 7 inches, I'm getting it, no doubt. No doubt. This is gonna come out in October, I'm pretty sure. around like in October, like maybe near the end of October. So that should be a good time to get it. This is also scheduled for that time of year, the fourth half of the year. I'd also suspect it's also coming out in October or maybe November ish. So, I have said to myself, if this is 7 inches, I am getting it no doubt. Because this figure will no doubt automatically have more articulation than the other one, more precise painting, all the good stuff like that. Because those are all the things that SH Monsters has killed it on. They've always had great articulation. Hiya Toys has had good sturdiness when it comes to their figures. They don't fall apart as easily when it comes to SH Monster Arts. But I wish there was more articulation. You could kind of even see in this image that it's pretty stiff image. So here's to hoping that this may be 7 inches, especially now that Hiya is starting to get really popular. I feel like SH Monsters is going to have a lot on their place because now they have a new competitor. Ever since NECA left, and when it wasn't able to produce figures anymore, uh, SH Monsters hasn't really had much competition because, well, it quite frankly had no competition. Its only competition was kind of itself with, Bandai Movie Monster Series and stuff like that, but that can't compete against this. The only real competitors was maybe Playmates, but they still, once again, don't come close at all. But now that Haya has come back, has, popped into the equation, I'm hoping that we'll start to get, better figures from both sides. Don't get me wrong. Hiya Toys has always had their consistency of good figures, but I have seen a lot in other reviews that they're um, not on the same level as SH Monster Arts, especially from the past releases of SH Monster Arts. Nowadays, Hiya is a kind of picking up the slack for SH Monster Arts. Nowadays, because they're not really doing much. But the past releases for SH Monsters have been really good, which is why I was, sucking off the Godzilla 2019 review, or not the review, the figure, because I kind of love the figure to death. So yeah, if it isn't 7 inches, which I suspect it may not, I may need a little bit more convincing. Hopefully, when more info is dropped, which I believe is April 26th. Hopefully, when more info is dropped, we can, I can be hopefully more convinced. But as for right now, I don't know which one I want to get. Because I'm really only going to get one. I'm not the type of collector to just collect everything and just like consume everything. No, I'm just gonna, I like to stay selective. I'm not the best financially, I'm not the most financially wealthy, how I'll be. So, as for which is better, we can't really say. The figures are not out yet, so we legit cannot say which is better. I will say Haya is definitely presenting it better. Not in the case of marketing, but just like sheer quantity and just how kind of open they've been. Like they've shown like how many images are here? I'm pretty sure like 12. They've shown like 12 images. They're not afraid to show this thing. And we've seen a couple like in real life images of it. And it still looks really good. I'm not gonna pass it off with that. It looks really, really good. Um, Now that SH Monsters has actually released their figure, it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of competition that these figures are gonna get. No doubt they're gonna be compared a lot. Hell, I'm kind of comparing them right now. They're no doubt gonna be compared a lot. And I will hopefully be able to follow it as long as it goes. I promise to hopefully try and follow it. Any news updates I'll follow. from both sides. We haven't gotten much from HIYA now. I just said the HIYA's been really open, but that's only been from like this post, or not this post, this page, and from those images that were shown a while back of the physical figure. Those have kind of been it for this figure. And this is, the first time this figure has ever been shown. This was shown like 3 hours ago, I'm pretty sure. So, I will try my best to follow along wherever it goes. Anyways, that's kind of all I got for you. I'll remind y'all to be smart, be collective, and hey, like what you like, hate what you hate. Just don't be a jerk about it. Alright, I'll see you.